Hi Pisces, welcome to your end of November 2022 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. Let's see which one wants to come out. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of major arcana cards for people. So what it suggests to me is that the last half of the month is going to be quite eventful. You know, we keep hearing about, oh man, there's going to be all these things happening, and then it's a nothing burger, but when it rains, it pours, and it could be in a good way because sometimes it does turn out to be accurate, and then we will just be along for this wild ride, right? But even in our individual lives too. The heart of the matter is the Judgment card, and this card can be so many things. I mean, it could be a literal judgment that has come down. So whether it's a lawsuit or if you're getting divorced, and you see that horn and you see the fire, it's like baptism by fire. So it's really about rebirth. When somebody is reborn, they've come through the fire, and it's also a card of karma, meaning cause and effect. Sometimes the chickens come home to roost, don't they? And also about your actual judgment. Pisces, do you have good judgment? Pisces is a very idealistic sign, to say the least, and you tend to believe the best in people, and you might be too trusting, and you might have had to deal with the consequences of that. And if you say to yourself, well, lesson learned, that's great. But if you just think, oh, why did this have to happen to me, and if you're in victim mode, you're not going to see your part in the dance. Because when you see your part in the dance, then you can actually do something about it. If you think everything is happening to you, obviously you have no control over other people, so you just are sitting there going, oh wow, what else is going to happen to me? In the past position, we have the Seven of Wands, and this is a card of, the person who is in that defensive posture, kind of holding back, kind of defending themselves. So this is standing your ground. And yeah, I mean, even just any kind of lawsuit, you might be like, hey, I did it. I didn't let somebody intimidate me. And even if you had like an ugly divorce or something, you just stood your ground, and it, since the Judgment card is in the upright position, maybe it went your way. But also the other thing too is that this could be how you were treated and why you decided to leave that situation too. The higher message is the Two of Cups. This is a card of reuniting. Sometimes I reuse titles from my videos, and I thought I had pretty much a gold mine saying reunited, and it feels so good because people, that's what it could be, that you're reuniting with someone and coming from a negative kind of situation, and you're reuniting, and it's like, boy, does that feel nice to have this type of different situation where I'm not feeling like I'm in this negative place anymore, because you might have been with somebody that just wasn't a good fit for you. But the other thing too is that it's a card of commitment. And I don't know, I don't get the feel for commitment in this. What I get the feeling is reuniting with someone and getting away from a negative person. And I also get the feeling of perhaps as a spiritual message that the person, you may have been through a lot with a past relationship, Pisces, and you have to accept the fact that even if that other person was the one to call it quits, that they may very well come back. If they're a narcissistic personality, they may try to come back, and you have to be wide awake to that. Because if you're not, you might end up foolishly thinking that they have changed when they haven't. What crosses you is the Six of Wands, and this is a card of accolades, receiving receiving some acknowledgments of your talents and things like that. So if I read this, like for instance, in a relationship reading, and knowing that you have the Seven of Wands in the past position, you may have a hard time accepting compliments or dealing with people who are treating you well. And this is something that you may not see right away. You may just, let's say you go out on a date with someone and you tell your friends, I don't really feel attracted to him or her. I really don't. And they thought that you would be like the perfect, that the two of you would be the perfect. You may just feel that you don't have that kind of attraction, and you don't realize that the reason you don't is because it feels strange. It feels uncomfortable for somebody to treat you right. You ever heard that saying, I wouldn't want to belong to a club that would have me as a member? And these kinds of things are real, even though they're played off as jokes. So I want you to think about that if you are having relationship issues, if this is something that has been a pattern for you, because that's another aspect of judgment. It's easy to get attracted to bright, shiny objects, things that look good but really aren't good for us, or people that, act like they're everything, but they're really encouraging us to not be at our best, really. What's coming in is the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, I want to talk about, this card is associated with Taurus. It's a card of a strong work ethic and really buckling down and being consistent work-wise. But I want to say if those cards relate to work matters, because I kind of was just talking about relationships. And it can be a situation where if those top cards is that perhaps you were having harassment in the workplace or some kind of a thing. The word that came into my mind is unfair. Like maybe they were targeting you, someone, and you were feeling on the defensive. A boss who didn't like you, or an assistant manager, somebody in a position of authority, and perhaps you filed a grievance and you won, or something with the Judgment card where there was arbitration. The Two of Cups in that context could be, even if you decide to leave, they may try to woo you back. Knight of Pentacles is a very diligent work card. So maybe now you can feel free to do, like you don't feel like it's you are impeded from doing your job. So even like sexual harassment, although I see the Seven of Wands as more of like somebody being hypercritical of an employee, and they're doing it for the purpose of making them feel like they're not okay. The outcome is the Seven of Pentacles, really seeing if your investment is paying off where you're working. Oh, they're going to, kick me off. I've reached my time limit. You can find out more information at my readings below, about my personal readings below. Thank you for watching. Bye.